vampire, but we're gonna do this thing anyway. How are we doing tonight, guys? Welcome, everybody.
Hey.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. Let's see. Welcome to our Rumors of the Dead Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition game set in Los Angeles. We run this every week. It is an interactive game which we try to get you guys to help participate by being the storytellers yourselves. And I think it's a fun game that we've been doing for a little bit. I'm just going to throw it out there tonight. I am leaning on my players because I'm feeling rough this evening, but we'll make it through. We'll survive it. You know what I mean? But altogether, just a quick rundown of what we do. It is a Los Angeles game. We are playing as anarchs, of course, in the city of Los Angeles. Currently, there's a time, think of it kind of set after all like the LAbyNight storylines and all of those in which the Camarilla is trying to push up on the anarch free states, and they've been left alone to their own devices. However, as we all know, the beast inside does get a bit impatient at times when they get bored, and therefore squabbling and turmoil has happened with it. Squabbling, turmoil, and infighting has happened within the anarch ranks. People are currently vying for power, control, or territory, and all of those things. And this is the night by night lives of the kindred that we follow within the city of Los Angeles. Cool way that we wanted to make this game interactive was I made sure to add a rumor system. I have seen this elsewhere. I'm not going to claim it's just mine. But simple idea being that you can add rumors and evidence to these rumors through our Ko-Fi page. If you want to, you can add a rumor about anything that you want, anything that you think would be interesting in the story, and you can also add evidence to said rumors, or the rumors that are already in existence. And if those rumors get enough backing and support, every time we reach one of our $100 goals, we end up making another one of those rumors true. Therefore, it is a way for you guys out there in the stream or in the chat to directly DM this game. It's very cool. Let me see here. Let me go ahead and get you a link really fast. I actually have it up this time because I was being smart.
We had one that got confirmed last week, right?
We did have one that got confirmed. I didn't pick it yet. I was kind of still waiting to see what the evidence pool came out to be, but I have a strong suggestion, so we'll see that coming in the next, probably later this session or next session. I haven't kind of officially confirmed anything on the stream yet, or on the website yet. But yeah, if you want to, you can head over there. That is Rumors of the Dead. I think that link just leads you directly to our Wikipedia page. But if you look under Chronicle info, Chronicle guide, the scene, and rumors and evidence, you'll find the current rumors and evidence for our game. Here, let me go ahead and link that to you too, just to be nice. There it is. Right there is the link to all the current rumors and evidence that are already circulating in the world of Kindred that we live with. So if you guys want to add to that, add new rumors, or expand upon a current rumor, just think of whatever you want, add it to it, and literally the only thing different between this and doing a DM's work is just putting, I heard a rumor blank before whatever you want to add. I heard blank as evidence about that rumor. You know what I mean? It's very simple to do, real easy to navigate and figure out how it works. So you guys can, add all the cool rumors and evidence that you want. It helps support the stream. Now, I'm also going to throw out there is a way to add +1 dice to all the players and all that. But if you just want to support the stream and you don't want to do any of this stuff, I'm okay with that too. We have subs, we have bits, we have sound alerts, we have all these fun things. If you want to just support the stream directly, feel free to do so. I'm not going to shame you for it. But anyway, let's get on past all that stuff. You guys know how to support a stream. Our sub numbers have been coming up. Make sure if you recently got a sub, Abby just got one from Gothica. Thank you. Exactly. That's what I was going to say. If you've been gifted a sub, make sure to check out our Ko-Fi shop and see what benefits you get. Let me just give you a list of them. Actually, I think I have it on our Discord as well. Give me 1 second here. I'll give you a list of the benefits. But even at a tier 1 sub, you get to add a free evidence every game. You get to add free rumors. You get to add, certain things like that, depending on your level of participation. Sorry, 1 second here. Memberships. I just want to pull it up for you. Information. Yeah, the subs have been going up. I'm glad to see it. And if you've been gifted a sub, you still get all the benefits. Not only do you get backstage passes to our Discord, into the sub only areas where I typically hang out and stream, even off stream. You get, a lot of other benefits with that as well. All right, so right there is a link to our Ko-Fi shop. Let me go ahead and pull this up so I can kind of run you through things here. Boop, 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 boop. Right here, if you want to take a look at our memberships, right there they are. Even as a tier 1 sub, which is what was just gifted, you get Discord access. You get to, everybody gets to join the community, but it's listed in there as the fact that you will be given the supporter role in our Discord community. You get behind the scenes streams, because I'm usually hanging out in the sub only area streaming in there as well. You get to add a new piece of evidence to our Rumors of the Dead game. So if you have a sub and you want to check out some way, excuse me, guys, I've been burping all night, so I'm really trying not to. You want to add your own evidence to the game, support one of the current rumors that's out there, you could do that for free. It's already there. It's already set in place. And then also the same for our D&D game, you get to gift a player advantage on one of their roles as well. So that's just tier 1. You can see that there are other support tier levels. Check them out. And that's whether it's a Ko-Fi sub, a Twitch sub, all of them, they all get the same benefits. So. All right. Beyond all the monetization stuff, let's just move on. You guys know how to support a stream. Let's play the fucking game, right? Let's start with introductions of our characters. Snowcone, would you like to tell everybody about your rainbow-headed self?
Oh, why, thank you, our lovely DM. Hello, everybody. I am Jive. I go by Snowcone on this lovely game of ours. And if you're looking for any information about what I do and what my character does, I am the pharmacist, the healer, the resident weirdo of our group. And if you want to know something about Snowcone, they are the person who most likely get arrested for peddling some kind of, not narcotic, I would say. I would say something along the lines of, like, I don't know, peddling chihuahuas or something.
Peddling chihuahuas. That's
Yeah.
when you say peddling chihuahuas, all I can think of is a procession of chihuahuas on like one really big bicycle. But I still think you could get in trouble for it. Yeah, dude. Definitely our local peddler for sure, man. Fucking Snowcone is, of course, one of my favorites. I'm not even gonna lie. I like him better than you guys. Uh, he's crazy. He's fucking crazy. He makes for a lot of fun. As a DM character, man, you just bring all the action in for me. All right, my next favorite character, because I'm gonna be nice to everybody. Bart, if you want to tell us who you guys are, who you play. Sorry,
Hey there, folks. I'm Paul, Goonie Bones Chat, and I play Bart, our resident fixer. Many a thing. His crime would be related to that, being that he would get questionably sourced parts and install them for a no questions asked fee. There's sometimes been some cops then coming about asking him things.
Do you
I'm not
outfit bikes
good
with
at
guns?
responding in that way. No pressure, man. Leave me alone.
Do you outfit bikes with guns? Can we get you to start
That'd be dope. Yeah,
installing
just
weaponry on cars?
hook it up under the throttle there. Good idea. That totally seems
Won't go wrong.
Yeah, nitrous
like a good
button
plan.
that shoots a flamethrower forward instead of flames out the back. Numar, if you want to tell us about your character as well, sir. My absolute favorite. See, everybody's my favorite tonight. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, I play Numar, who is our Lasombra clan kindred in the party. I always have a hard time figuring out how to describe him because he's weird, but not like Snowcone weird. He's
serial
He's
killer
weird, but
esque.
not
kind of
Snowcone weird.
Strange.
Yes,
Yeah.
Strange.
I
Strange
always
is a
think of,
better
like, mentally
descriptor there.
unstable, but yeah, serial
Well,
killer.
you're going off that. You're not like fully off yet. You're just kind of you're going there.
You're strange.
Right.
Snowcone is
Time
weird.
bomb
You're
is
strange.
good.
Oh god, I like that. That's a unit of measurement now. That's my favorite. On a scale of 1 to snow cone, how fucking weird are you? How weird do you want to get?
Snoko's the guy to eat
Out
the
of
gum
4.
off of the sidewalk, and then Numar would be the person to stick the gum on the sidewalk with a note that says, "Eat this, please."
Eat this, please, right? Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Uh, it would have a pile of broken glass next to it. All right. And my favorite, 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 favorite player, Marina. Character Marina. There you go.
Hello.
Fucking, we figured it out. We got there. We got all 4 of them. I had to go down through the
I'm playing
list.
Marina, or yeah, playing Marina, or a little bit of she's the one that tries to bring some sort of calm, but also is the cause of half the problems now. Even though she's the one that's trying to make sure everyone doesn't die half the time.
Keep people from dying, getting people
Yeah.
killed. What's the difference?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. You try to keep them in their own life.
I mean, yeah, that's the nice part about being undead is you get to do it all over again every time. All right,
Yep.
well, let's not waste too much time. Last week, as we kind of had hit a bit of a milestone for our game, we had actually kind of taken a bit of like a week of downtime. During that week of downtime, the players decided that they wanted to start working on a bit of a strip mall, so to speak. And by strip mall, I mean it does include a strip club and then other
Yes.
things that belong in a mall. So strip mall. But the strip mall was also directly placed over top of an abandoned railroad switch house. I forget what those are called. If anybody knows what the hell you call that. Anyway, the switch yard, I think is what it was called. It's what my whole community was
sounds
based
right.
on it like 100 years ago. I should know this because like there's old pictures at our community center. But anyway, it's an underground rail station. It connects to various different rails that lead throughout the city, but also a kind of a central meeting hub for those who are traveling underground through the sewers of Los Angeles. And for those of you that know anything about the sewers of Los Angeles, they can get rather interesting the deeper you go. So our players had also kind of started outfitting, resupporting, and cleaning up that area to possibly be used as a bit of a what was it? We did a Kindred Farmers Market. It was
Yeah.
kind of the general idea, swap meet farmers market, area for Kindred to meet and use that area communally as kind of like a gathering place or an exchange where they can trade goods, etc. But also connects to various tunnels that will get them all throughout the city. It's a good hub. But yeah, I think that's most of what we did last week, other than Numar, who snuck off and investigated the police officer that seems to be following them. Only to uncover that it seems that he may be following them as a means of revenge, or possibly as part of the police work, to try and capture maybe not the exact killer of his partner, but at least to try and bring someone to justice for the slaying of his partner, who was also tied directly to a small group of hunters within the city itself. His partner was, of course, a firm believer that supernaturals existed. Both his wife and his partner did not believe him, which may have caused something that they had in common. And now, after the falling of his partner, Numar, as he approached the partner's household and followed the officer, found him leading to his ex-partner's wife's house. That was really hard. I didn't know if you should say ex-wife there too. I mean, he is dead, but technically probably still married till I don't know how that goes. Anyway, the two cops, one of them was Inquisition, one of them was a hunter, one of them was not. And now that the hunter has passed away, it seems that his partner has begun sleeping with his wife. And there was this moment that we discussed last week that I didn't even think of, but there was a moment in which she finally believed her husband. When Numar come to the door and he's using all these weird things, and she finally says, "Oh my God, he was right the whole time. You are creatures of the night." Mind blank. and she had to forget it all, right back to the ignorance that she lived in before. That's kind of sad. Like it's really bad, but either way, there was some
Why
plans
do I
that
have a
this
sandwich?
Why do I have a sandwich? Exactly. There was some plans that hunter had to schematics actually to a special weapon that is being in development using sunlight or a kind of fake sunlight. What do you call it? Synthetic sunlight that will turn it into essentially a laser weapon specifically designed to harm kindred. And that's where that trail led to last was his possession of it before our coterie acquired it after it changed hands a few times. But anyway, that's where we're going to pick up from. We'll start off there. If any of you guys want to tell me where you're at, what you're doing, I'll let you guys pick, man. Again, I'm not feeling super great tonight, Chad, so please bear with me, but I'll try to keep up with these guys at least. So let's figure out where you guys are at. You can tell me where you want to start off in the city tonight.
I mean, what do I wasn't. I'd probably be looking for staff probably to get all that stuff sorted up for that place while everyone else is doing their things for a little bit.
Gotcha, yeah. Makes good sense. Doing a little staff hunting.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. What about you, Snowcone? Where would you wake up tonight?
That's a good question because after the whole Terra situation, we kind of just left and
Oh yeah, that was
yeah,
Prob-
and
Probably noteworthy.
yeah, and feeling like very stressed out for Terra's sake, apart from like, oh, they might actually be magic and might not be just, oh, they're a witch, they can do voodoo and whatever and read tarot cards. It's like, no, they actually might be able to do some magic. They are gonna try their best to like do some snooping around to see if like they can find any information on like a mage or like any magic users, like any information that would go towards helping Tara understand what the heck is going on in her brain.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I did forget to mention that part. They've kind of bumped into a new wave hippie chick named Tara that turns out has some minor mystical properties about her, possibly an unawakened mage, though they would not know that, of course. But she was injured during a battle several weeks ago where she was shot after being kept hostage. She was being held hostage as a way of protecting one individual. He was shot, so was she. She's been in a coma, but now is seemingly living in a coma in which she can fully access her magic within this dream space that she is living in. And Snowcone, thanks to his salubri premonitions, has a direct link to that in some ways. But yeah, there's that to deal with as well. Cool. You tell me where you kind of want to go to start that, because there's a lot of places. I mean, you can go to libraries. You could probably go to the Baron. You could go to a lot of different places to find that info. But I'll let you decide where you think would be the best direction to start. Anyway, Bart, where would you wake up tonight? In your usual storage locker?
probably, but just on our last, I would suggest to keep local with our local Frederick. At least a little bit of a knowledge keeper.
Oh yeah, Frederick. No, bit of a knowledge keeper, information gatherer. One of the few Nosferatu that make their home within your domain, other than yourself, of course, and runs a small pawn shop named Hemlock's Pawn, down in Nocturne Alley, as it's locally known. Okay. And Numar, what about yourself, sir?
Well, what about mapping?
Oh, we're just bounced around to everybody.
Yeah,
I
this
was
is how
asking
it is.
everybody where you're starting, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just
But
getting an
beyond
idea
that,
where. This way I can figure out which one. I'll be honest, I'm trying to figure out which one of you is easiest, and then I'm going there.
Going with Numar, though, along with myself, is where do we want to repair that laser thingy?
Oh, yeah.
Or have you already
Yeah.
gotten to it? It's been a week. I don't know if you've gotten it already to your downtime, but I don't recall.
Yeah, you guys can
Yeah,
have
I
downtime
think
if you need it.
I think we'll need a moment where, Umar needs to touch base on that. Also, I have some intelligence to report to people, so I was gonna kind of make my way around a little. Kind of want to start with Snowcone first, when possible.
Okay, perfect.
So
Okay.
I got his Xanax.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
you
always
did.
find them in the same place.
You did steal her drugs. Yeah. So let's see. So Snowcone, I think that's we'll start at the top half of the screen then in that case. So Snowcone, you said you were trying to preparing to set out to maybe find someone who is more familiar with the occult, mages, or magic in general, and maybe still trying to figure out where to go in order to do that. Numar was looking to maybe bump into you and share a bit of that info. So maybe that's where he finds you. I assume somewhere in your truck, your ice cream truck, converted to a mobile lab, or
Yeah, I would be like in the truck, just like trying to like make some medicine for like the locals, because like people would like with all the advertising they've done with like business cards and just getting their word out. It's like, okay, I got to make the regular penicillin, and then this, and then that, and it's like, oh shoot, yo, Namar, what's up?
especially with the upcoming installation of your newest brick and mortar pharmacy as well. Yeah,
Uh,
that's where you find them.
hey, Snowcone. What you got going on here?
Well, with the new business opening up with the pharmacy in the mall, and also with like a lot of locals coming to me for their medicine, it's just been a little bit hectic to get all this medicine in order. So I'm thinking about maybe expanding some stuff, and I'm also dealing with Tara and her whole situation with like her mind palace or whatever it is. But I need to find out what that is.
Right, right. Also, I heard you were like still kind of burned on fire. Are you better now?
Burned on fire.
Yeah,
Oh
where you
no,
got
no.
burned.
They're gonna look at their hands like, no, not really anymore. Got some good sleep and it took care of itself.
That actually reminds me, real quick, if everybody wants to make a rouse check, and you can also add either your resolve or whatever the other one is, worth of willpower back as well. You can reset your willpower.
Right on.
Actually,
And
at this
Hunger.
point, you can just reset your willpower. It's been like a week. Make your willpower
Yeah.
completely clean. Yeah, and then, make a single rouse check. Before I
Also, I'm pretty
forget.
hungry.
All right.
Um,
Nice. Number 3. Sorry. Just getting an idea
Yeah.
where everybody's at. Where are you
No.
currently at, Jibe? Snowcone? You still at Hunger 1, or?
Yeah, still hunger one, chilling in the van, making medicine.
Gotcha. All right. All right.
So, snow cone. I understand, like with Terra and all that. That's like really tough. Anyway, I got some Xanax. I don't know if that helps. I hand him like a plastic bag of loose Xanax. Like,
Yeah, you find,
I'm
as mentioned last week, you not only see Xanax in that bag, but I mean, unless you kept them, you also find a handful of small blue and white pills that look very similar to Adderall. Mommy's little helpers. She was keeping Xanax to put her to sleep and Adderall to wake her up in the morning. Mix it all with a little bit of wine, and you're looking at a heart attack. Uh, you know what I mean? But she was really pushing it.
I'm guessing it's like 90% Xanax.
Yeah,
Rest
yes,
is
probably
like surprise.
probably more Xanax. Definitely a handful of Adderall thrown in there. All that stuff.
Okay. Like,
Anyway,
this is gonna be good. Thanks. Where'd you find this?
uh, I was at a person's house. You know the that cop who's kind of been harassing us. Um, well, I met his wife. Well,
Numar.
his wife.
That's his wife, big air quotes.
I guess it was his partner's wife. Actually, is what I found out. But they're still fucking.
What?
Like, gave her my sandwich.
I think that's what the blue ones are.
I think so.
Give her that foot long, you know what I mean?
Oh shit.
Oh god.
Yeah.
We like to have fun here, ladies and gentlemen.
we like to have fun. But yeah, definitely came from that.
So I've for sure been learning a lot more about the whole grieving process, and you know, I know I'm not the most suited for it, but with whatever's going on between you and Tara, because I know you're close. If you ever need me to like help you find a prostitute, you know, I'll. I can-
Snowcone's gonna like immediately. They're like pouring some pills into like some containers and immediately slips and just everywhere, a mess everywhere. Just like I'm sorry. What?
Well, I I don't know. Like you do you, but just it seems like it's one of the stages of grief I'm finding out.
Timur, she's like a student. I'm not doing anything with her. And by the way, she's in a hospital bed. I would never.
No, not Tara. Like by the looks of it, it's usually someone else. So like that woman, she started like sleeping with the other cop the second her cop friend just went away.
Uh-huh.
I mean, more or less. I don't know exactly when. But...
Well, if that's what with your spare time, you do you, Numar. But I gotta finish sorting this medication for the afternoon rush. But thanks for the pills. Thank you very much for that. I'll also thank you for the information on that police. I know that was a problem a while ago. Glad to hear that it's getting squared away. Yeah. You can see like Snowcone is like if they could blush, they would be blushing.
I love that Numar is on this quest to learn kind of more or less like how to cope with grief, and he sees somebody sleeping with their ex-partner's wife, and he's like, this must be how it works. You just sleep with somebody, you know what I mean? Just instantly. You know what I mean? I'll get you a prostitute. Yeah, that's good. I will say, Numar, do you not also have some points in occult, by the way?
Do I have a point?
I thought you did. You might be a source for where to find some knowledge on Harris condition too, but I couldn't remember.
Let's see where that even is listed.
On the right side.
Right side. No, I do not.
Okay,
Got
gotcha.
0.
All right, gotcha. I was just curious.
But yeah, I would also want to say to Jive, Snowcone. So like this cop thing, like I don't know how resolved it is. Like it seems like they're still hunting us. Was kind of my takeaway. In fact, he might be even more mad, which is why he's like grief banging his partner's wife and you know, I guess his cop friend was after us, and now he's after us now. Also, speaking to the wife, it really seemed like her husband knew about us.
You definitely found the
Her
whole
husband,
murder
the
board
cop,
in the
the
basement.
dead one.
You remember? There was the whole like string theory murder board in the basement that showed several kindred faces, things like that, suspected lank bodies.
Any faces we would know, actually?
Good question. Give me a. Let's do a random roll on this. Roll 4d10s. Just like something like that.
Yeah.
You could do a percentage if you wanted
I
to.
copied to Jive Man. I'll show him a little stack of the copies I made.
Oh yeah, that's right. You copied it. I forgot about that. Yeah, you copied all the info off the murder
Our
board.
brain cells together.
Do you want like a 1d100 then?
Yeah, just do a D100. That'll be fine. The higher, the better. 62. You probably recognized one or two of the faces, though there was no hard information about them. I think you would have recognized the face of. I'm trying to think. It would have been the face of the ex-Baron. Kind of suspected of being tied to kindred affairs. And then there was a lot of went missing question mark, after he was, of course, taken out of his position of power as Baron. But I think you would have also seen the face of, I'm trying to remember his name. It was the businessman that you had helped with the package previously.
Oh, it's Damien Steele.
Damien Steele, yes. You would also recognize Damien's face on that list as well. It says things, like CEO, day trader, stock exchanger, etc., but only works at night. Strange? Question mark. Like strings tied, in little notes. So they didn't have anything concrete on any of them, but yeah, I think definitely the ex-Baron, Damien Steele, and Hemlock, Frederick Hemlock from Hemlock Spawn.
Yeah, it makes sense. He's a public-facing Nos.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Literally, the note next to him says, "Nobody's that ugly." You know what I mean?
Poor buddy.
I would point out Damien Steele specifically and be like, he got himself outed.
At very least suspected. While you guys are dealing with that, though, let me take a quick switch here to the other side. This way it gives you guys a minute to think of what you want to do next. Bart, as you wake up, what do you do?
Oh, I wake up
As you
hungrier,
said.
so therefore I mope on TikTok for a little bit. From there, I move on into checking over the daily work stuff.
There's a laundry list of it. After the recent events of a warehouse being blown down in the city, there's a lot of suspected work that's going to be coming to the area, so work has picked up. There's a lot of things going on. People are planning on the new creation of that facility also requires new manufacturing in the area, and it's kind of challenging others to step up their game a little bit. So not a ton more, but a little more work than usual today.
Well, I guess that's more the grind than anything, and I feel Bart, for the time before this of last session, where he was focused on the Book of Nod more, therefore he kind of let work slack, and so it's a struggle, but he also at least texts Numar of that, hey, if you're free, do you want to work on that cool laser of yours?
There you go. Feel free, Numar, by the way.
It's an unlisted number. I don't have those on my phone.
I think Bart, at least, whenever he gets a new burner, which would actually probably be around this point, he sends out, just a certain passcode that lets people know that it's him.
Okay. Yeah,
What is
I
Bart's
could probably get
passcode?
from
No,
there.
hold on. We're stopping everything. What's Bart's passcode?
What's an obscure motorcycle
Let's
brand?
put you right on the spotlight. I was thinking it's going to be something like shotguns and helmets. I don't know. I don't know.
Helmet emoji.
Gun emoji, bike emoji, helmet emoji.
Hashtag sexy nos. You know what I mean?
Apparilla?
Yeah, sure.
Aprilla. Apparilla.
Paparilla. There you go. Fight names. That makes sense for you.
Okay.
That does.
I think that's Bart. He wants to do something. Yeah, sure. I send a text with a random emoji. Texting's not my strong suit.
It's one of those things of it just glitches out for you, so I might just send a random thing and
It comes through as a dead rat.
You just get like a
Yeah.
miscellaneous gif of like someone doing Gangnam Style. I don't know.
Fish, Gangnam Style, squeegee.
That's fun.
Like,
I send back something random too and get back to my shit.
But
That's good
yeah,
stuff.
I'm up to do that too whenever we want.
oh, you can
that.
go ahead if you want. We can kind of cross over in time frames. You know what I mean? This is over the period of a week. If you want to, go ahead. By all means.
Well, see ya, Jive Man. I'm gonna go see Bart.
Like I said, we'll double back to that.
Hey, man.
You're just gonna get all the
Yeah.
role play. It's all good.
But rolling
so
up in an
I'll
hour or
go
two and
see Bart at his place, right? His little.
at the shop, like if it depends on how well we coordinate, maybe he's not there right away and then therefore it's locked up, but
The
we'll
actual
see.
shop
Conveniently
or the
he's there.
garage? Well, so I
In
don't
the
think you
garage.
tell anybody about the shop, right?
I still try keeping my main haven somewhat
Right.
hidden. I still literally walk across the street to go there and back, so Numar, and if he's being observant, knows where it is.
Where do we first?
A few other folks probably know where it is at this point, but Bart thinks he's got it down.
Where did we first do the flashlight thing?
That was the
Because I feel
garage.
like that would be my
My shop, yeah.
place. Okay, garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where I try to meet you then.
Bart's Garage. It just says plainly on the sign.
Maybe he's trying to start getting into a more actually looking like a business outside. It's been,
Oh, yeah?
it was
You
scummy
working it up?
before.
Nice.
It's graffitied for the sign. Yeah, no, it's not gonna be that fancy. We can't pay for that shit. We have
I
other
paid-
stuff, more
Paid a
important
local
stuff.
street artist. He was also happy to take such a big canvas, But yeah,
Yeah, so I guess I'd see Bart in the garage.
What's up, dude?
Hey,
Let's go back to the shop. How do you carry it with you when, like, it in the day-to-day,
jacket pocket.
or even right now?
I'd have like not like a heavy coat, but like something that just has a little jacket pocket.
Mysterious package under a large jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the hoodie thing,
Well,
Little
that's like
cool.
feeling off one
Uh,
night.
does take like a small amount of space, as we kind of discussed before. If you remember like old school bag phones, do you remember those? Anybody ever seen one of those? Like it had like a small, almost travel case, like a bathroom sized travel case with it, and then like a wire that ran to a phone. It's
Yeah, I
kind of
think
like that in a way, where you have to have a bit of a battery pack storage device, either in a backpack or on like a like a carrier package, something like that, with wires that run to this literally space age looking weapon that creates either a beam or a spray of this light, depending on how you focus the lens. And taking a look at it as he pulls it out, some of the biggest things that you notice, some of the wires definitely got a little singed, as it does tend to overheat, but very particularly there is like one microchip in the whole thing on the circuit board that is constantly frying out. It definitely would need a better way of cooling it in order to make it more sustainable, and that seems to be the biggest issue. Think of it like the CPU on your computer. It needs a heat sink, you know what I mean, like of some sort, in order to cool this thing. That would be the best way to describe it. But you did order a second part that you've never went back to Radio Shack and picked up. Would you have stopped and grabbed that? Because Radio Shack is absolutely in the world of darkness. It's still a thing.
yeah.
But yeah, did you ever pick up, because I remember at one point, like, you had one stolen, right? And then you also had one from you had ordered one that was going to take too long, So you had what's his name steal one for you, right? If I remember correctly.
I think at some point we did get the Radio Shack one, but it was after we made it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
you
can't
you
recall
have
if I
the
actually
device.
did the
Yeah,
Radio Shack one.
you've got the parts to repair it. Then in that case, you just need to redo it again, and some new fabrication. Of course, always welcome if you guys want to make some craft rolls.
Maybe
So
make it less
I'd
likely to
bring
burn
this-
out.
Yeah,
See how it goes.
that'd be a good fix. I'd bring it to Bart. I'd be like, so far it's working okay, but like, it seems to like burn the shit out of itself just as much as it did the person.
Yeah, like definitely some toasted wires as far as that goes, and this microchip is just burnt completely black.
Huh.
But like, you've seen the guy, like, they were burned even more than this.
Craft intelligence, thank you, sir.
You scared the shit out of me the last time that we fucked with this.
Let's see. Craft
Yeah.
intelligence of 3. I think you're
let's-
kind of in the same boat where you might be able to improve on the wiring. This way that no longer burns out, but that microchip is still going to have that same problem, even at a 3. You know what I mean? It's
Let's just focus on what we can get done.
yeah, but with the craft 3, you could definitely get it put
And
back
carry
together.
whatever voltage we need. So
Gotcha. Yeah,
here's
let
the
me-
thickest gauge I have lying around here. This is basically used for hooking up between batteries to other things in a car. I think that's something
Yeah.
that needs big wires.
yeah, battery
so-
terminals. Yep. Thing.
There we go.
Oh, if he's
We just-
doing the
It'll be a
crafting-
tight fit, but I think we can get it.
Yeah, actually, I paid a stop at the guy at the guy whose name was on the schematics. I met his wife, and
Ah, shit.
yeah.
Well,
they,
did you
they
get
kind
like
of,
dirty details?
Yeah, actually, but it seems like they know about about us. The
shit.
wife, like,
Um,
all she needed was like one little clue, like the first time I went in like perfectly disguised, but she just like caught me on one little thing, and then like she knew I was Kindred right away, but like I mind erased her. She's good, like, but like that's just how close she is to figuring it out, all from her husband, who was like, I'd start pulling out the schematics. Who's like kind of looking in on us like this.
Yeah, the murder sheets or whatever. Yeah. So what you see is a bunch of photocopies of things that would essentially be posted on a kill board. Maybe a couple of cell phone pictures of all the string theory wall of things like that. But again, same thing. You see Damian Steele's name on there. You see Samuel Hirsch's name on there, and you see your friend Frederick Hemlock's name, and then probably a variety of others as well that may or may not be. There's definitely one that says something like Oprah Winfrey, potential kindred? Question mark. Far as you guys know, probably not, but maybe. You know what I mean? Things like that. There's some other more unusual ones. Paris Hilton. You know what I mean? Nobody's that skinny. Whatever. But there are some reasonable information mixed in with some completely insane theories as well. It would definitely look like the, kind of, the murder board or whatever you call that, planning board of a serial killer or someone working within the CIA, that's got a couple of conspiracy theories, as far as that goes.
This is
Anyway.
cool, but extremely intimidating.
I mean,
Looking
like,
back on what I've been told to do here.
the guy's dead, so like that kind of ties up a lot of things, but his wife is like actively being fucked by the guy who's been following us around, so it kind of makes me think this isn't over.
Yeah, we probably should find some way to wrap up this. or at least like
Yeah.
get the Jude off our general trail. Do you
Oh.
want to throw Damien Steele under the bus? Like,
I have no problems with that
or at least,
at all.
how can we point the fucker in his direction? Ah,
I mean, also
without,
we could off the cop. I kinda
yeah,
feel
that
like
was
it's
the other
stopping
option. Was just,
points.
yeah, like just plant a bomb inside the house. That's, I think, a reasonable thing that we can do. But like,
I mean, I don't think the wife's really investigating us.
you said that like
I
she
kinda feel
learned it like
bad.
with one little slip up by you.
Yeah,
That-
yeah, but she's taken care of, you know. Like she had a sandwich. I took her Xanax. You know, she's.
But not all is Xanax, right?
I left like some, you know. I
He's
definitely.
definitely going to
Smart,
have to
smart.
call an expensive doctor again.
Could we poison the Xanax? Now that won't get to the cop, probably. Maybe.
I mean,
Huh.
we can
Could we
also.
poison stuff inside the house? That might work.
He spends a lot of time at the girl's house, so maybe
Yeah.
we could just fuck with his own house when he actually does get back there. There'll probably
Oh,
be
that would be a
big
good way
time
of getting
window
him,
to do
possibly,
something.
yeah. And also, it'd be a less attended house, potentially. So maybe also a more monitored one, like her
Oh,
house compared to his.
What you remember, just to throw it out there, what you seen between the two places, her house was rather nice, decent neighborhood, gated community type thing. Kind of, maybe not gated, but it definitely at the end of a cul-de-sac, you know. Very modern, you know, suburban home in a halfway decent neighborhood. As far as the police officer's house, it was definitely like a low-end squat. I mean, he's probably living amongst as many criminals as anything. Kind of a low-end apartment. Pizza boxes all over the place, you know, things like that. The type of place where you have bars on the windows, just because, you know, you don't want to get broken into or whatever.
I
so
can
it's-
break into there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and
wanna-
it would be easy to do. Those things are just to keep an honest man honest. But yeah, out of the two houses, you know, definitely her house probably would have some sort of like home security, where his place, maybe the building might, but not necessarily his apartment, unless he himself has put it in, being, you know, a paranoid cop.
so I haven't been in the cop's house yet, but I don't know. You want to burn it down?
That's too much collateral, too much of people looking into things. I think we just need to get something into like his food. Or
Yeah. I mean, we could.
this is
follow him
also
to the
maybe
donut
just
shop.
like, what's that?
We could follow him to like his donut shop or something. Spike his coffee with something.
New Mar, give me another one of those D100 rolls.
Oh, gonna be excited to see what this one's for.
Right? Well, roll well and we'll find out. Yeah, nope.
I rolled a little below well.
I was given a 50% chance that you might find some Quiznos wrappers laying around that apartment with the pizza boxes, but unfortunately not. Doesn't look like that. He doesn't want to eat fresh.
Did you mention during your story to
Hi.
me your Quiznos adventure, or
I mean, if you ask about like how I disguise myself, yeah, I'd tell you.
because
So
dude, that
Wait.
was, you shouldn't do that more. That was a masquerade violation on camera, almost definitely.
I mean, all I did was take his clothes. You know.
You convinced it. Well, you did bribe him, so that kind of okay. Now that
Give
I
him a
think
couple
about it,
$100. Yeah.
Plus,
That
I'm
does
not very
another.
photogenic.
Oh, true. Yeah, I forgot about that too. Well, at least your laser thing is back and working, so
Definitely.
Right,
After a
yeah,
couple of hours,
can-
you guys are able to get it put back together, upgraded the wires, so at least the only part that you have to physically worry about is that one microchip until you can find some way to cool it better.
Ooh.
The secondary problem, of course, being that it's very large and bulky. The original, from what you could tell, this seemed like it was supposed to be a small part of maybe something more like a rifle or something like that, something a little more compact, easier to handle, but with the materials that you're able to get your hands on, definitely harder to make that way. So you've got, like a bag and a wire, and think like the Ghostbusters guns, you know what I mean? Like something more like that almost, where it's a little bit smaller than that, but the backpack or bag on the side, wire, and a gun.
Hey, Kevin,
Yes, sir.
can we make a technology roll and spend a little bit more time working on this chip?
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because you made the craft roll, but I know Numar is the techno wizard, so not to give you all the rolls, but
Oh.
if you wanted to do technology with
I have
Bart's
two,
help,
or could I help him?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. With Bart's help, so you could add a +1 to it for Bart's assistance, since he also has it. Yeah, as long as you have it, you can also assist.
Nice.
Maybe tech and wits or intelligence.
I think this would be more of an intelligence thing. This is, literally learning how to make it work, kind of,
Okay. And I get just a +1 from Bart.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a plus. No matter how many dots he has, it's only a +1 for each individual that helps in this game. 2 successes though. Would you like to spend any willpower or anything like that?
Yeah, let's try a willpower.
You get a total of 2 rerolls.
Three.
So 3 successes.
Here. Just to double check, chat, that ambient music is not too loud, right? So yeah, with 3 successes, I think again, you could probably think of a ways. Let's see. You could probably think of a way, not really to improve this chip specifically, you know what I mean? As it's kind of like, or it's not even a chip. What do you call those? Like the little fuses, you know what I mean? As far as that goes, I forget what they're called. The little transistors or whatever, like in radios and TVs, those little circle things that look like a battery with a wire coming out each end, Anybody know what I'm
I
talking
think that
about?
would be a fuse if it was
It's like
yeah,
a
the circle
capacitor?
thing that's connected to a
capacitor.
wire
That's
on
what
each
I
end.
was thinking of. Yeah, capacitor.
Capacitor.
I think that's what they're called. Fuse, capacitor. It kind of, yeah. Anyway, so I think instead of finding a way to improve that device, what you instead can think of is a way to series them. You think of a way to more or less make it to where you could put a series of them in order that would give them the ability to withstand a little more capacity. You know what I mean? Or a little more power to where it will still probably blow out at some point, but it would definitely happen far less. The downside is, again, 1, they're a little expensive and they take time to order, or 2, the only other place where you can get them would be either something like UCLA, where they have a robotics department, or any major tech company that might have a research and development facility, or the place where you've been told these hunters may be gathered. They would probably not only have more of those, but, more of the schematics. So it's a matter of how much risk you want to take there.
We can discuss the risks as a group for.
Yeah. At least we can
Think
get
we're good.
another use, and then
Yeah.
we'll figure out an improvement for it.
So maybe you could scout those hunters. In general.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
picture of essentially what you're carrying around on you at the moment on the screen here, if you're seeing the stream.
Nazi.
Oh.
It is the Ghostbusters backpack.
Nice.
Say it looked a little like ghost equipment. Cool. So, yeah, I guess we'll have to discuss and figure out what we're gonna do. I spoke to Jive earlier. I spoke to Snowcone earlier. um,
But what?
but kind of like showed him some of these things. But I don't know. The guy seems a little torn up about Terra.
Like
We might have to deal with
He-
that too. I'll find a way to cheer him up.
it was still weird how he like did the forehead touch, then like held that for a minute, and then really went down a ramble.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Hope
he's got
she comes out of it like
visions before.
true, though still not to that intensity to go often or like it. Did you get a closer look on him when he was in the warehouse? Like he went down pretty hard there too. Is his condition getting worse?
No, I mean he looks fine. He's, it's just he's emotionally weird. He seems like his physical wounds are all good.
He's a homie though.
Yeah.
Still stay safe out there, my dude.
All right.
We'll close up there.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the third kind of person. Well, third singular, another person.
Yeah.
Marina, you wake up.
Hello.
Where is it that you said? You said you were kind of staying at at your apartment, but working on business stuff. Was that the idea?
Yeah, that was mostly the plan. I was gonna set stuff up, so start looking for staff at some point soon. Probably messaging
staff.
the rest of them. Yeah, probably also messaging the rest of them, see what they're all doing and if they need help with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. All of you receive a group text, confirming, hey, getting the day started, looking for employees. If y'all need anything, let me know, etc. Something like that. So, if any of you guys want to reply or jump in on that direction, feel free to do so. But yeah, as far as Marina goes, one of the first people that you've gotten contact back from was Lark, Amelia Turner, who says she has gotten several girls together. She's taken a look at the interior, asked if it was okay that she decorates a little bit, and says that she can definitely start to put the word out as far as looking for others, but as far as at least within her capacity, she is more going to be likely to provide customers than clientele. She did find several kindred girls that would work the strip club portion of your club, as far as that goes. But yeah, like I said, that's probably about the extent of her know-how. So when you go looking for like a DJ and security, where would you go looking for those sort of things?
You know what? I'm gonna do it smart since I'm new at this and I don't really have too many different things. And since we just helped out a very important person, I'm gonna talk to them to see if they have any ideas. I'm gonna actually talk to Izzy. Let's see if she has any ideas how to get this help get this started.
Yeah. Going to Izzy about it, one of the first things, I guess, let's just jump into it. Kind of as you kind of approach her, more or less, she would acknowledge, she's sitting currently at the bar. She is by herself. This is like a Monday night, so the bar is essentially empty, other than Henry, her right-hand man, and maybe one or two, of her Gould staff that you've met previously. They're doing things like cleaning and taking care of the bar, but you do realize these are rather muscular individuals, or at least nimble individuals, so you would assume they're probably not just here to work on the bar, but also here for her protection as well. But as you approach, if it isn't my favorite newbie, What can I do for you, Marina?
Hello. I think you've probably heard about it at this point, but she sort of unfurls some of the floor plans and stuff like this. I've actually been building something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. What was the name of that place again? I know you guys have been building it up, but...
Not sure just yet, but there's a bunch of different little places. It's sort of like a little mall as she sort of unfurls the plans in front of her and starts showing her.
Right. Well, there's one thing I can tell you. One good piece of advice that I can give you as a, one of us, a kindred, starting their own business, especially in the club industry. Don't. Don't do it. Run like hell. Run far. Run wide. Don't. Trust me, it has created more headaches than it's worth. But if I can't stop you, then I can at very least turn you on to a couple of distributors. I got some liquor people, things like that. What are you guys still lacking?
Well, I can probably get a hold of just about anything I need, but I'm just curious on, since I knew a bit on this, but security-wise, I noticed you have a lot of people around here that could help. For your case, I'm just trying to figure out how to get all this stuff sorted for like my first sort of setup at the very least.
In my case, most of these individuals are mine, so to speak. A little bit of blood goes a long way, but I don't really encourage too much of that with my citizens if you can avoid it. Try to keep the masquerade and all that. But I would say, maybe, bringing in those that you can trust. That's the hard part. There are private security firms you can hire in, but they're just going to work for the best paycheck. A good camera goes a long way, but make sure to have someone you trust with the footage. But yeah, I mean, as far as pulling people in, I mean, I might know a couple of people that are looking for work, things like that, ex-employees or people that, just didn't quite make the cut as far as what I was looking for. But they are still, of course, of the mortal coil. So, the other option would be you could try and find any of ours that'd be willing to help you out. You definitely get a lot more muscle that way.
There's just Russell, the reason why I bring this up to you, I think you would probably think this would be a very interesting venture. Sort of moving the things, showing the sort of the underground image of it, the switchyard.
Gotcha.
This is what we're above.
That is interesting. This gives you direct access into Santa Monica, doesn't it?
A few other places as well, but
kind of trailing the lines and looking at where they go. She asks Henry to go and grab a few things for her, who quickly returns with a tablet and like one old school map of Los Angeles as far as that goes. And she begins kind of running lines and looking at things. Okay, I can see why you have some interest. Ambitious, are we? Or at very least, sane. The problem is that when you open up these lines, you're not just opening your doorway to them, but their doorway to us. So be cautious on that. But I like where you're going with it. Something like this could be really useful, especially if we plan on ever expanding our little territory. Which, not saying I am, but if I were to consider it, Santa Monica, Venice, definitely a good direction to move in. As far as this goes, though, it looks like it also heads down to downtown. I would not fuck with Nines if I were you. I don't even like that guy. I'm just telling you. I've heard stories. He seems like a jovial dude, but yeah, I don't know.
fair enough.
Ask around. People will tell you the stories. Let's just say that he was once reported to have taken out a lichen, or lycanthrope, whatever they call it. What do they call it in werewolf? Lupine, that's it. A lupine single combat, which is more than I want to get involved with. I know you're new,
Lupine?
don't know much. Werewolf?
Oh, okay. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, sort of thing. Okay, yeah, of course there are things.
All
Okay,
things are a thing, dear. All things are a thing. Just
I'm starting to
a
learn that.
matter of what twisted version we've heard versus what's the truth. That one's pretty close, actually. Can't lie. But either way, one of them should be able to do damage to a lot of us, and he is reported to being able to take out one by himself. So it's the quiet, it's the calm about him that makes me so nervous. Anyone that's that calm and quiet, I just, it's like PTSD or something. You ever met an old soldier? Anyway, never mind. Either way, heading up the north side, you got Hollywood. Nellie doesn't seem to bother anybody and seems to be doing okay up there. I don't have too many troubles with her. She doesn't have too many troubles with me. So I don't think you have too many troubles there. But these are the barons, of course. Now, when you start talking about their citizens, that's a little different. So I would probably look more into seeing if you could. It seems like you would need some way to pay a group of kindreds individuals to keep an eye on this area, but also you need to pay them well enough to trust them. And as you know, even though you are new, most of us don't deal in money, but favors can go a long way. Blood, of course, is something we all need. And then, occasionally a little bit of money on the backside doesn't hurt, but, knowledge, information, I think would be your best bet. I mean, as far as the group of individuals you have in your domain, or, your little area down there now, well, your growing area down there now, you could, militarize, or what's the word I'm looking for? Consolidate them to actually get them to work together. You got at least 2 dozen people in your area now. I know there was only a handful that came through Nocturne, but now you're definitely starting to deal with a few more. Welcome to my hell.
Well, I'm just getting started, so with all of it, so I'm just trying to figure out how to at least create some good groundwork before, I'd rather build on stone than sand.
Makes good sense. Well, what I can do for you, I can send a couple of my guys to get down to help you get started. You're going to want to pick up your own. I, of course, need them here, especially with everything that's going on as well.
Of course.
But I could send a few people down to get you started, keep an eye on things down below and in the club. Maybe come in playing a small security, but you're still going to need to find somebody that can work during, well, I guess my guys could do daytime. They'll be ghouls, not like us. Yeah. But I would definitely find somebody that maybe is a little bit, more directly of the blood. This way you can get the strength if you need it. But I can send you half a dozen to get you started.
All right, yeah, my main concern was the day. Nighttime, I think I already have things sorted out that I can partially work on. Okay. It's just these
guys will be able to do daytime. They'll be able to do day. They belong to me. They will listen to you, but of course, keep in mind, they are still mine, so that bond is strong.
Yes, I expect nothing less.
Well, either way, I can get you set up there. She writes down a couple of numbers. She says, "These are my liquor and food distributors. Just tell them I sent you. They'll put you on the dock, and you'll be getting food, and you can just pay that once a month. I know you're fairly well-to-do as far as your inheritance goes, but just try to make more money than you lose at least. I know this place doesn't make near as much as you would think, but we have an unlimited supply of drinks, so it's beneficial." Well, either way, if there's anything else that you need along the way, just let me know, and I'll see if I can pull some strings. I know some people in the City Planning Commission. If you get any permits that get hung up, Damien can usually help with those. He helped me with quite a few of mine, and things like that. But I would suggest maybe start rounding up the troops in your area, see if they want to stand behind their new landlord. As long as they're loyal to me, they should theoretically be loyal to you as long as you're good to them.
Well, nothing if not usually good to people. Well, besides our one friend, and then we're just laughs a little bit before going. All right, I'm gonna head back out. Thank you for the help. I'll see what I can do with a few other things as well.
Sounds good. Well, if you need anything else, just let me know. You know the number. And as you kind of make your way out or whatever,
Yep.
you find yourself entering into the cold night. Real quick, Snowcone and New. Oh, was there anything else that you needed?
Oh, I was going to see if I could go see where they're at, so I can end up meeting back up with them.
Yeah,
at the end of
that's
that.
exactly what I was going to do after this. Yeah, Snowcone and Numar, we kind of broke off midway through your first scene there. Was there anything else you needed to wrap up with that, or did you kind of let it come to a natural conclusion at that point?
I don't know. I think it's kind of normal that we left it off a little weird.
Right.
I don't know. Was there more you wanted to say?
No,
or
no,
should we
I
do
didn't
a
have
full
anything,
group
but
meetup?
Snowcone? You had anything else you
No,
wanted to do?
I'm good.
Well, I was about to say, as far as getting you the help with your thing, then just to quickly wrap that up before we put everybody back together. You said you were kind of trying to find some more information about mages and things like that. Where do you think Snowcone would go to try and track that information? Does he go the old school route with like books and internet? Does he find a direct person to talk to? Does he, check with the Baron or other kindred or anything like that? I was about to say, as far as you know, the only Nosferatu you know in your area, Frederick, does have kind of some info on occult stuff as far as that, and is pretty decent with information. But otherwise, you may want to get into, just trying to study occult lore, or I didn't know which direction you were really wanting to go with it,
I think Snowcone with again with the stress of Tara's condition and also being responsible for another business now, they're not going to waste any time with books and stuff. They want a direct answer, so they're looking for the person who can point them in the direction of a person who knows as much stuff as they possibly can about mages, magic, etc.
Okay. I think Frederick could probably be your direct link to somebody that deals in the occult, and he could probably be the more likely person to set you up with getting in touch with someone in that direction. So if that's something you think Snowcone would do. All right.
Yeah, I think it would.
Hey kid, how you doing?
Hey Frederick, looking good, I see.
Yeah, fuck you too. What can I do for you?
Same old, just looking for some occult stuff, but I got a bit of a curveball for you this time.
All right, hold on a second here. He kind of walks over slowly and eventually just kind of latches the door, pulls the blind a little bit, just so we're not disturbed. Not like I had any fucking business anyway, but whatever. Go ahead, what's your question here?
I'm looking for any information you got on magic users, mages, or if you got any info about where I could find one of these people.
Yeah, don't fuck with them. I've heard horror stories of what those guys can do. Twisting the fabric of reality and shit. Did you see that new movie Doctor Strange?
Oh yeah, that one.
Kind of like that. That's kind of the way the storybooks tell them. Either way. All right, let me see here though. I don't know anybody as far as human wizards or sorcerers or anything, but I do happen to have a couple of contacts in the pyramid. You know what I mean? The Tremere. There's not a lot of them in our area, of course. I don't know why, but I do know a couple of people up north, the Hollywood area. Seems like they like to hang out up by the magic box. But I know some people. I could put you in touch with one or two folks, see what they could tell you about it. I mean, otherwise, I probably got a couple of books laying around and things that could get you some info, but that's kind of a long way about it.
I'll take the contact and I'll take one of the books. How much for both?
Let's see here. You got any good info for me? I mean, I got the bills paid, but I want to know the knowledge, and in the DNA,
Well, I could tell you this much. Well, you know that new mall that's getting set up over yonder?
I do. I've been keeping an eye on that myself.
Yeah, it turns out there was a little bit more that the construction workers found when they were digging, but let's just say that we made sure they didn't know about it. It turns out it's a bit of a secret passageway for our kind to get around here and there. So if you got anybody that's looking for a place to, get around but, not be seen, that'd be your place.
I tell you what, apparently you don't realize how old I am. I may or may not have knew a little bit about the sewers under that place. But what I didn't know is that you planned on clearing it out. That's good information to know. So how about this? In exchange for this little tidbit of information you give me and what I'm giving you, what I want is kind of an all-access pass, so to speak. Free roam to move through there without any trouble or grief. I can kind of come and go, and maybe a back door at your fancy strip mall that I could use to get in there. How's that sound?
I could arrange something like that.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that seems to work for me. I mean, I don't, particularly brag about it, but, some people like to live above ground. Some people like to live below, and I'm one of the latter, so if I could use that area to get back to my place, it would save me a lot on my daily commute. So it would definitely go a long way. I'll tell you what, all right. I get a backdoor key, I get a little access to make sure I can move through there, no troubles, no problems, and I will give you a name, my friend. Listen, so he kind of scratches down on a piece of paper. Actually, what he would do, since you did ask for a book specifically, as well, is he goes and grabs like 2 books that kind of deal loosely on, what little bit of reference he has on human mages throughout history. Probably one of them that mildly explains the story of Tremere, being a human mage, converting to a kindred, and how that bloodline came to be a little bit. It doesn't explain much, but then what he does is he writes down on a piece of paper, AVA, Ava, and it has a telephone number there, and it just says text underneath of the telephone number. So Ava would be the contact that he's giving you. As far as that goes, the telephone number says text only, and he did also mention that they typically hang out more north in the Hollywood area, so it's out of your domain, but can put you in contact. This girl here, she's a good one, right? She can get you set up with any of the others that are up there, and it's all, like I said, it's a big pyramid scheme. If you don't know how the Chantry works, don't try to understand it. But, just know that if you meet one of them, you essentially can meet them all if they decide that it's okay.
That's something I didn't know. Thanks for that.
Yeah, it's a big blood circle jerk. Don't get involved with those guys. They're fucking dangerous, but at the same time, there's nobody better when it comes to warding a door or enchanting a little bit of stuff with some blood. It's a weird process, but you can't argue with results.
I mean, hey, we're immortal, right? We gotta live as much life as we can before we get bored, eh?
That's it. Well, if anybody ever comes in that door that directly means me harm, you'll see exactly what happens with Tremere magic. Just saying. But either way, just be careful. The Tremere are kind of weird, and I don't really trust them. They're one of the old clans, but they're not really one of the old clans, if you know what I mean. Read this book; it'll tell you more about it. And that's for the one where he hands you kind of how Tremere gained his abilities, etc. But yeah, he would definitely tune you on to a Tremere kindred that says it's kind of related to a Chantry of sorts. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. You guys might know. Is the Chantry specifically Camarilla? Or is that just Tremere do that in general?
Traditionally, yeah, but there can be an LA Chantry that is Anarch founded.
I think they would still probably call it a Chantry or a sect or something, a coven? I don't know.
Coming up with unique verbiages when we're already doing this thing that is still basically the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that. I just
Tremere
knew that.
understand efficiency. They'll
Yeah,
use the same thing.
yeah. It's an anarch chantry. Why not? But yeah, that's kind of the general idea you get before you guys are all able to eventually meet back together. You know what I mean? He of course, gives you whatever you need as far as that goes, sets you on your way. But is there anything where would you guys communally meet to discuss all this afterwards?
The apartment's still pretty probably
Construction
fucked
site.
up. Yeah, construction site probably.
The construction site? Okay. At this point, like I said,
convenient.
we're a couple of weeks in, so like your club has been mostly built. The mall still has empty, like your club is probably done for the most part, other than furnishing. Your office has already been furnished. As far as the pharmacy, same thing. The shelves are in, the office has already been set up for you to use that space, snow cone. Even a small little lab in the back with a little bit of extra tools that you couldn't have fit in the truck. But the shelves are still bare. So it's just waiting for the last, steps of the procedure as far as all that. You also do see that the shop that Stitches was setting up is already going in as well. There's been a sign hung above the door that just says Twisted, spelled with a fancy calligraphy, almost like tattooed writing. Something like that has been posted up above the wall. It has around the T in the middle of Twisted, there is a spiral of barbed wire that wraps around the word the letter that almost makes it look like a cross with barbed wire wrapped around it. Very biker traditional, you know what I mean? As far as that goes. And that she has put in a couple of shelves. You see that even a couple of leatherwork bags, saddlebags, and bike parts are starting to get hung on the walls. But yeah, you have places that you can go. It is late at night, so of course the construction is currently kind of on hold as far as that goes. So nothing's being done at the moment. So yeah, you guys can use that space to gather and meet. I guess the strip club would probably have the most space as far as that goes. And as you kind of all walk in, it is a large open platformed area with a bit of a raised runway stage with a pole on either end, etc. As traditional strip club would be. Would you kind of be in your office, Marina, or would you just kind of be hanging out in the club waiting, or?
I'm probably in the club actually, just to be like, and look at what we finally have.
Yeah, I'm gonna say there are a couple of drinks being, even been set, like boxes of booze have now been sat behind the counter. They just haven't been put on the shelves quite yet, but you guys walk in to find Marina sitting at a singular bar stool. There's probably 3 bar stools. They don't match, like they were trying different ones, and she is currently sitting on one at an empty bar as you make your way in. So yeah, you guys can all be together now.
Well, welcome in. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Well, okay.
Well, I talked to the great old Baron, and she's sending in a few people to be able to watch place during the day until we can get our own sort of group sorted.
Nice.
So do you serve drinks here?
Feel
That'll be when we have some. I can serve some drinks that we can't really enjoy too much. But whenever our friend over there points over the snow cone, get some blood rides set up, we can use some of that spare.
that'd be
Very cool.
There are definitely crates of, like I said, boxes of booze sitting behind the counter if you wanted one.
I still don't get how Izzy does it, like having the ready supply.
What is it?
Just the ready supply of blood that seemed pretty ever-flowing. Like,
Yeah, we've
we've
got.
during busy nights, has there been like a lot of kindred in the place where it like could be 50 like bags of blood down within a night?
I always just assume she receives like a shipment of people.
Oh, we're talking
the
about
children's
at
hospitals.
Izzy's. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Chipotle has
Yeah.
Giovanni's that are
It's hard
shipping.
to tell. You've never asked her.
True.
She might have
That's
people
what they're-
on tap down in the basement for all you know. Maybe there's a sub basement, just got people hanging from the rafters. You know, you never know.
But yeah, since once his pharmacy's all set up doing weekly blood drives, that'll create enough for us at the moment.
Yeah, I was about to say, as far as Snowcone goes, the way that they've been getting their blood was through their mobile dispensary van, where they not only drive around and help the locals with certain medicines and things that they couldn't afford normally, but he also takes a lot of blood samples and blood drives while doing it in exchange. We've discussed that before. That's where he kind of gets his blood from in a lot of ways. So, yeah, it may be something similar
upscale.
for Izzy. You never know. But yeah,
So,
there's a
what
lot
have
of
you guys-
different options as far as that goes.
What have you guys been up to for this night though so far?
Working crafting, we got that flashlight back up and ready to burn.
Oh,
Yeah, you remember the subway, the Pop Tart
yeah,
guy?
yeah, no, I Pop-Tart. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got that thing fixed again, so we can use it again. Usually it's a one-use kind of deal.
Well, that's better than nothing. Anything else that's been going on?
Just fucking around and finding out with magic users.
That seems like a fun time. I still not gonna pretend that I'm used to that.
Hey, Kevin, would I
Into it.
know of then like any potential pathways that aren't Tremere for our
I think so.
little celebrity?
You dabble in the occult a little bit, correct?
It's still just at that one dot, but yeah.
Yeah, as I said, a little bit. I think as far as your side goes, you would know, a couple of Nos. You know what I mean? Like we've discussed before, possibly your Malwa, things like that, that may have some ends to stuff like that. It would be a little less
should then be
direct,
pathway.
but yeah,
I
it would
asked her
definitely
one
be.
favor though with that. I don't need another. She'll be on my ass about some shit then.
I was definitely going to say Ruku would be the next option, right? Because he deals with a
that's even
large variety of kindred. But as far as beyond that, I think one of the first thoughts that you would also have is Frederick. You know what I mean? Just since he specifically deals in occult and stuff. So, like, that thought probably crossed your mind. But the one that maybe hasn't been tapped so far would be the Midnight Marauders. As far as the biker gang of Nosferatu, they very specifically trade in not only the guns and drugs and money and things, but also, mostly paid in information. So as far as, contacting one of them, they might have some contacts that would either know a little bit or at least, again, know how to get a hold of somebody that might know something. You know what I mean?
We might be able to trade the stuff that you got just recently, Mar, for information to help out Snowcone here. You think we can make those trades
What'd you
happen?
get, Numar?
Yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about.
He invaded a
Here,
home.
I give him this. I hand him the picture of the guy that you spoke to. From my notes. And I'm like, so this is from that cop that we, the dead one, but
Dead? The dead cop? Was it dead cop?
oh
It's
gosh,
dead cop.
were you
The,
not there? Oh man, I forget that sometimes. Yeah, we killed a cop.
Oh,
Well, a ghost killed a cop.
oh, that's the video I saw. Okay,
Oh,
that makes
yeah,
more
yeah.
sense. Okay, I saw the video.
Yeah, so that cop had some, was I guess investigating stuff.
All right.
And his partner is